Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have a classic JRPG getting a remaster, and we have a new Evercade handheld to take a look at for pre-order. We have those topics and more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so we can keep you up to date with all the latest news. Now let's get started. First, we've got our first look at Sonic Frontiers, this coming from the official Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account. Enjoy this small preview of Sonic Frontiers and tune in all June long for the IGN first cover story for more world exclusive reveals. And there's not a whole lot that you can get out of this little trailer here, except for you can see there's an open field and you can see Sonic attacking enemies. In one instance, you see him go around an enemy as part of an attack, and then there's some type of big wheel that he kind of spins it like a hamster. But I guess the biggest takeaway here is that we'll be getting a drip of information about Sonic Frontiers all throughout June, exclusively through IGN. Next, it looks like we're getting a remake of the classic JRPG, Romancing Saga Minstrel Song. This article here from IGN states, the classic JRPG was originally released on the Super Nintendo in Japan, but was later remade for the PlayStation 2 and released in North America. That remake version is now being remastered for modern systems and is coming to PlayStation 4, 5, Nintendo Switch, PC, and mobile this winter, marking the game's first official release in Europe since the original launch in 1992. Now this remaster will feature some upgraded graphics and some new quality of life features, which probably includes like control schemes, and there'll even be some new gameplay elements. So if you're a fan of this game, you have a chance to revisit it, and if you've never played it before, this could be a great time to jump in and try out a classic JRPG when it gets released sometime this winter. Next, it looks like another game that came out in 2017 is getting a makeover for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series systems. We have this tweet from the official Assassin's Creed account. You've been waiting, and now the winds of Egypt are calling. Experience Assassin's Creed Origins in 60 FPS available for PS5 and Xbox Series consoles on June 2nd. Now this patch will be coming out on Thursday, and this is just that, it's a patch, it's not a whole new remake of the game to bring it up to date for new systems. It's mostly going to be moving the FPS cap up to 60. Now we've been expecting this to happen because Ubisoft announced last December that they were looking into adding 60 FPS support to this game. So if you already own this, you can try it out on your new consoles, and if you don't own it for an Xbox, just wait to this next segment. So we've got a list of the games that are coming out to Game Pass this first half of June. Starting on June 1st, we have For Honor Marching Fire Edition for Cloud Console and PC. June 2nd, we have Ninja Gaiden Master Collection for console and PC. And then the bulk of the games come out on June 7th, and we have Assassin's Creed Origins for Cloud Console and PC. So if you don't already own it and you have Game Pass, this is your chance to check out that 60 FPS boost. And then we have Chorus for Cloud Console and PC, Disc Room for Cloud Console and PC, and then we have Space Lines from the Far Out for console and PC, and this is a day one release. So Assassin's Creed Origins is probably the headline here to try out, especially with that 60 FPS boost coming. And of course, every time we have games coming, we get a list of games that are leaving. So on June 15th, we're losing Darkest Dungeon, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, Greedfall, Limbo, and Worms Rumble. So if there's any of these that you're wanting to try out, make sure you do it before the middle of June. And we have that Xbox Bethesda Showcase coming out on the 12th, so that may be the reason why we're not really seeing any games released here on Game Pass past the 7th. I'd imagine they will probably announce some of those at that showcase on the 12th. And of course, with a new month, we also have new games with gold for the Xbox, and it's again lackluster. We have Avon Colony, Project High Rise Architects Edition, Super Meat Boy, and Rascals. Now, I've never played Super Meat Boy, but I've always heard good things about it. Of course, this is a 360 game, so this could be a good chance to check that one out. And since all of these are included with Game Pass as well, you might as well add them to your library. Next, in what's a little bit of retro gaming news, if you're not familiar with the Evercade, this was a handheld console that allowed you to buy physical collections of games and play them. They then released an actual console version that could take 2 cartridges and had controllers, and you could use your handheld as a controller. Well, yesterday they announced the Evercade EXP. So this is an updated version of their handheld console, as you can see here. And it does include the ability to play all the games that have been released, and they did indicate that there may be some exclusive games that come to just this system. But of the new features, they added a vertical mode, so you can turn the console on its side and play through some of these shooters that have a vertical screen layout. They're also releasing a new cartridge, the IREM collection. The biggest one I recognize from here is R-Type. And if you take a look at the technical specs of this handheld, it's a 4.3 IPS screen. They're going to be adding some bonus content. I believe it's built into the handheld and they haven't announced that yet. The Tate mode, which is the manufacturer of a lot of those vertical shooters. A 1.5 GHz processor, 4 gigs of built-in memory, stereo speakers, USB-C charging port, built-in Wi-Fi to do updates, and I do have to wonder if they won't use that for some type of linking in the future, but if they don't, they're missing out on something there. A 3.5mm headphone jack, a 720p mini HDMI output for TV, a 3000 milliamp battery which gets you about 4 to 5 hours of gaming, and then finally you can see the dimensions listed here at about 7.75 inches wide by 3.1 inches tall and then about 0.8 inches thick. Now the release date isn't set until winter of 2022, which really could last until March of next year, but they are going to take pre-orders in September. Now for those of you who like to look for exclusive collector's editions, they will have this black version only available at Funstock, which is a UK retailer. So this will be going for pre-order today at noon Eastern. And the price of it is £179, which translates into about $225 US. And yes, they do ship to the US. Now with this collector's edition, you get some additional goodies in here, including an extra game, a carrying case, and this little collectible keychain. Oh, and also a certificate of authenticity so that you can brag about it to all your friends. So I do have the original Evercade handheld, and I'm not so sure I want to upgrade just yet. While it is a neat handheld, and it does give you the ability to have a physical copy of these games, most of the games I really wouldn't play very much. There have been some collections that I was more interested in, but they've seemed to have gone out of print and are really expensive to find online now. But if this is something you're interested in, make sure to leave a comment below and let us know if you're planning to pick up this newer version. And finally, in a little bit of news of something nobody wants, we have this headline here from Nintendo Life. Level 5 launches Ni no Kuni game in the West, featuring crypto, blockchain, and will add NFTs. So what I've been reading about this game, apparently it plays absolutely nothing like any of the other Ni no Kuni games. And we'll take this little snippet here from their website, and I'll just focus on this middle paragraph here. Ni no Kuni Crossworlds employs a gameplay-based blockchain system, giving players who enjoy Ni no Kuni Crossworlds the opportunity to play to earn tokens through gameplay. So it kind of sounds to me like a slot machine. They do have this other graphic here showing how you trade out these different currencies or items or whatever they are. Now this is free to play, so there'll be people who at least download it and try it out. I personally am not going to download it because I don't want to add to the statistics of how many people downloaded it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Does this sound even the least bit interesting to you? And that's all we have for today. Did anything we discussed catch your attention? Do you plan on trying out Assassin's Creed Origin with this 60 FPS boost? And would you be interested in this Evercade EXP? Do you already have an Evercade? Are you willing to upgrade, or would this be your first time buying in? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we discussed today. I want to thank you for watching, and be good.